His MVP. Goldstrom, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball. Down line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the top of the 8th inning. A's just pushed across a run. As you can see, those of y'all on X, Instagram, and YouTube got the Game Day app up for y'all so you can keep up as we give y'all a little play-by-play, a little color commentary along the way. Good news is the good guys are still winning, but the A's are going to get one back here against Robert Garcia, and it's going to be a 6-3 ball game here. Single, nice little line drive. Corey Seager not quite able to glove it. And the A's are in business. Not quite over yet. That Seager home run felt like a nail in the coffin, but A's trying to make it interesting. 6-2 at the moment. First and third, 2 outs. Soderstrom up right now. Soderstrom, he's had a pretty nice game so far. 1 for 3. Did get a hit off Jacob deGrom. deGrom, by the way, 6 innings, 9 Ks. 1 earned run, another quality start. Big D51, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the roses. Thank you for the gifts. By the way, for anybody joining us brand new, we got the multi-stream going on. We got YouTube, X, Instagram right here. Y'all see me looking over here, vice versa. We got TikTok on the phone. So we got a little bit of everything going on right now. But we're going to finish this one out with y'all. Really excited. It's looking like, I'll knock on wood, but Rangers are on their way to another series win, and you love to see it. This homestand, a very important one as the trade deadline approaches in 8 days. Right now, Robert Garcia trying to get the Rangers to the bottom of the 8th inning. And that was quite the swing there from Soderstrom, man. That pitch was probably about 1.5 feet, 2 feet above the zone. Soderstrom, man, trying to get all 3 back right there. Shoot. And it looks like he is going to ground out to end this inning. Robert Garcia allows a little bit bend, but doesn't break. And we are going to be into the bottom of the 8th inning here. Nice little comebacker. Robert Garcia jogs it over. Easy peasy. And the Rangers, will see if they can tack on any more insurance runs in the bottom of the 8th. Hey, cool stat. Cool stat that I just saw from Sean McFarland, one of the beat writers, Dallas Morning News. I want to give him credit for this, doing the research. Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia, Marcus Semien have not homered in the same game since late September 2023. I believe the date was September 24th, 2023. It has been almost 2 years since all 3 of those guys have homered on the same day. It just feels right, doesn't it? I mean, it's crazy it's been that long, but it just goes to show you how good this offense can be, how good this offense can look when all 3 of those guys are clicking. Marcus Semien, I already told y'all, like Adolis Garcia is the father of the Houston Astros, Marcus Semien is the father of the Athletics franchise. I mean, bro played for them for 6 seasons. I did a video on this a couple of days ago. I think it was just yesterday, actually. Out of all the teams in the American League, Marcus Semien has the highest OPS in his career, opponent-wise, against the Oakland A's. I know not Oakland anymore. You'll have to forgive me on that one, but nevertheless, you get the picture. Marcus Semien rakes when he plays the Athletics. Was not a great game for him yesterday. Marcus Semien was in an 0 for 16 slump. 0 for 16. Breaks it in a big way, hitting the foul pole down the left field line, giving the Rangers a 2-1 lead at the time. Corey Seager puts the cherry on top with the 3-run bomb himself. Can I just pat myself on the back a little bit as well? Corey Seager, I said one of my second half predictions. Seager is going to make it very, very interesting in the MVP race. I know Cal Raleigh, Aaron Judge kind of running away with it. My prediction was Corey Seager crashes the party a little bit. Don't know if he's going to win it. Might be really, really hard at this point just with the slow start that he got off to. But I really feel Corey Seager is going to have a second half MVP type season. And so far, so good with Corey Seager really, really coming out strong after the All-Star break. Hey, real quick, before we get too much deeper into the show here, Right on Rangers, y'all know we cover everything Texas sports, but we put a big emphasis on the Rangers during the MLB season. Rangers first, Rangers always the priority. And I appreciate all of y'all for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Whether you're tuning in on Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, appreciate the support of the show so much. As you guys know, once the game is over, post-game, we'll be able to get to a lot more comments, a lot more questions. I'll try and give y'all as good of a play-by-play color commentary as I can, and we'll work in some little things here and there along the way, some of my takeaways from the game. I will be checking the comments section, so I might be able to get to a few. Don't take it personal if I don't get to your comment for whatever reason. We're not ducking anything here on the show. We'll get to everything of substance, but please copy and paste, post your comment again if I miss it the first time. Would love to make sure that I get to everybody. So with that, let's lock in here. Adolis Garcia just flied out. Evan Carter up. He's 0 for 3 on the night, looking for his first hit. We keep going here. I'm going to check in on YouTube. What's good, McJowers? Hey, Beanie, what's good? Thanks for hanging out. Brian, look, I was kind of thinking the same thing. The comment is, gotta love when they make us sweat, even with a comfortable lead. It was a little dicey there for a second. I get it. I can't say I was really ever too worried as Evan Carter's going to ground out to the pitcher here. 0 for 4 on the evening for Evan. Man, I love that guy. I want to see him get going in the worst way. Him and Wyatt Langford. And these two guys right here, I've said it multiple times this season. If these two guys can figure it out for the Rangers, you are just going to see this offense open up in crazy ways. If Wyatt and if Evan can find their groove, look out. I mean, we've said it over and over. This offense doesn't have to be elite for this team to have success this season in October. The pitching, we know, elite in and of itself. If the offense can just be average, if they can just give you 4, 5, 6 runs most nights, it's going to be good stuff. When you got Jacob deGrom, you got Nathan Eovaldi, you've got all these dudes, Patrick Corbin, Jack Leiter, Kumar Rocker, all these guys pitching really well. Got John Gray coming back. You don't have to be an elite offense when you got this good of pitching. But if Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford can figure it out, shoot, the sky's the limit, really, genuinely. I know it's a lot to put on their shoulders. Both of them still really young in this league. Obviously, both of them, though, counted on for production. That's another thing we've discussed. We do have this idea, this concept that CY, the front office, Spencer Maker, all these guys, they went into the season believing that Evan Carter, Wyatt Langford were going to give you meaningful production. And it's been there at times this season, probably not as consistent as you'd like to see. But I have faith that they're going to figure it out. A lot of potential with those guys. I know Wyatt is not in the best of ways right now. Broke his 0 for. We were talking about Simmy, and Wyatt Langford had an 0 for streak himself going until that infield single. I really do believe both of those guys before season end are going to get in stride. I'm trying to speak it into existence at minimum here, y'all. We're going to keep going, checking comments. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Again, thank you so much. On Instagram, Thad, what's good, man? Grade for Rowdy so far. I would say for me, I commented on this in the Discord that we've got going for all my paid members and subscribers. I said, I like him as a DH. Thad, I don't know if I want the guy playing first or not. And I do not know if I want him playing first base. I think we've got some better options down there. I know that the lineup and the construction of it probably called for him to play there tonight. But with that being said, Not quite nimble enough down there for me. Like Jake Berger's glove down there, like Josh Smith and his glove down there a little bit better. But if we're going letter grade, can I go B right now? Can I go B? The home run was pretty huge. I don't think you're really counting on Rowdy to be like a 300 hitter. I think you're counting on him to give you some firepower, to get some big hits for you. I don't think he's going to be going multi-hit every evening, but if he can hit several bombs for you along the way during his tenure with the team, I think you're going to take that. So I'm going to go B on Rowdy. Maybe that's a little generous. I don't think so. I think the 3-run homer the other day was huge. So for me, that's what I'm giving it. Giving it a B right now. Appreciate the comment, man. Thank you guys, everybody, for hanging out. We're going to keep on with TikTok comments here in just a second. Right now, we've got a couple of things going on. At the moment, A's are up for final ABs. And right now, you have got Sean Armstrong in the game. Andujar up to bat. So last chance here for the A's. Armstrong, by the way, very, very solid this year. I know at the beginning of the year, we were, I think, a little bit, cautious about Armstrong. He had some moments at the beginning of the season. You were kind of holding your breath at different times when he took the hill. I think he's actually really settled in. I've taken him off of my barf bag list, if you will. By the way, if you're new to the show, barf bag list is guys that make you get the barf bag and buckle up that seatbelt, man. And there are some guys like that in the league, some guys that they need that traffic on the base pass to get the blood pumping and to lock in, man. But Armstrong really has been pretty solid. I really can't complain. You look at his numbers, and he's been one of the better pitchers in the bullpen, really has been. Clearly, Hobie Milner is the guy that I'm gravitating towards the most in terms of consistency. I think Hobie's been awesome. And guys like Garcia clearly have been really, really good at times too. But Armstrong's up there. He really is. Right now, his numbers, you got him at a 3.02 ERA. For a long time, that was in the twos. Just recently, with some of his outings, that ERA has gone up over the 3 mark. He's going to get a strikeout here of Andujar on a filthy off-speed pitch. Good start. That first out, always huge in the 9th inning. So Sean off to a good beginning here to close this one out for Texas. And so, look, you assume Armstrong's going to be all right here for the last 2. You're going into the game tomorrow. Obviously, Thursday's an off day. You have the series sweep right in front of you with arguably your best pitcher on the mound. I know we're probably going to go back and forth, deGrom, Evo, depending on the week, depending on the start. But really, I think you can make an argument Evo has been the most solid Rangers pitcher over the first 102 games of the season. I know that deGrom has been healthier. Evo obviously has dealt with some injuries here and there, but the numbers don't lie. Evo, the ERA, everything that he's bringing to the table, quite elite. And I'm glad that he is going to be back on the mound tomorrow for Texas. And a series sweep would be huge. It gives you a lot of leeway going into the Braves series. And here's what I mean by that. We said at the beginning of the homestand, could you go 6-3? I think 6-3, very, very reasonable number of wins out of 9 games. Look, would you love to go 7-2 at this point? 8-1? Absolutely. Absolutely. You would love to sweep this series. You'd love to sweep the Braves. Easier said than done. Could you go 6-3? You win tomorrow's game and you're at 5 wins already. Technically, you could probably get away with 2 losses against the Braves. You don't want to see that. You'd love to see 2 out of 3 or a sweep. But I think we have to contextualize this, keep it in perspective. 6-3 is an outstanding homestand. I don't think that is just, we're treading water. 6-3, 667 winning percentage, very high quality. So just already looking ahead a little bit here. Let's not get too far ahead. Got to win a ball game tomorrow. But would that sweep be huge? Absolutely. It really does help take a little pressure off the weekend. You're not going to have deGrom. You're not going to have Evo in the Braves series. You're going to have Patrick Corbin. You're going to have Jack Leiter. You're going to have Kumar Rocker. Maybe John Gray comes back. My point is you're not going to have your best pitchers on the hill at all in that series. So If you can get a sweep over the A's, that will go a long way, taking a little bit of heat off of the weekend series and off of some of the young guys. All right, we keep going. Appreciate it. 2023, that team was pretty good, Brian. I did see McCullers to the IL as well. I do think Slam to Jackson, I really do feel confident Seager is going to put himself in the MVP discussion. Is he going to win it? I think that would be pretty tough unless you get an epic melt from Aaron Judge, from Cal Raleigh. You guys have heard my take on Cal Raleigh. I think that there might be a little bit of regression. Catchers, they play a really tough position, and it is hard to sustain the kind of offensive production that Cal brought to the table in the first half when you are behind the dish in on every single play. It's not easy. Could he do it? Absolutely. Definitely not trolling, not hating, not doubting the guy. But I think if history repeats itself, it will be hard for Cal to sustain that same level of production. I think Seager is going to be top 3 in MVP voting by the end of September. I think he'll be there. If the Rangers make the playoffs, I think it's even going to be a stronger argument for Seags considering where they were at. If you're able to sneak into October or win the division, I don't know how he couldn't be in that discussion, assuming he's putting up good numbers. We keep going. Appreciate it. Yeah, Mason, I thought that too. And look, this is the game where you want to get Evan Carter involved here. This is the game where you want to get Evan Carter involved. You want him to get some ABs against lefties in low-pressure situations, not with the game on the line. And so I was glad to see that as well. Absolutely. We keep going. Langford in a big slump. Lucky others are getting warmed up. Yeah, I think that Wyatt is absolutely having some trouble right now, being disciplined up at the plate. You see some of the ABs that he's taken, a lot of pitches outside the zone that he's going for. You'd really love to see him lock in a little bit with the plate vision, with the plate discipline. Just a little too much free swinging up there for Wyatt. We know he hits the ball hard. We know that he has got so many intangibles. Really, really special player, but he has got to reel it in a little bit. And the Rangers, by the way, are going to win this one 6-2. Hello, win column. Cue the I Like Texas music. Rangers win another series. We're just stacking dubs. Hey, and we're stacking gifts on TikTok too. There we go. Thank you so much, Justin. Appreciate you. Rangers get the win over the A's. They go for the series sweep tomorrow, heading into the off day on Thursday, and then they look forward to the Braves coming to town to wrap up the homestand. Jacob deGrom gets the win today. His 10th win of the season. Lowers the ERA to 2.28. Think it's down, 0.4 of a point, something like that. Hey, we'll take it. deGrom gets another quality start. Newcomb takes the loss in this one. No saves. Great win for Texas. And firepower provided by your 3 best players, right? Corey Seager, Marcus Semien started it out with the home run off the foul pole. Adolis Garcia, he got things going, got the Rangers on the board to tie it up. And we have got a really, really good chance of taking 3 in a row against the A's tomorrow. Good stuff, y'all. Looking forward to the comments, looking forward to the questions. I'll be able to lock in a little bit better now. I'm feeling good. Let's not have any melts tomorrow. I think if you win 2 out of 3 against the A's, you're good. You'd love a sweep. You know that we're still going to see it tomorrow if something goes awry. But you want a series. You just got to keep stacking these series wins. You'd love to sweep tomorrow. Like I said, it gives you a lot of leeway going into the weekend. It's not that you're not going to be trying to sweep. It's not that you're not going to be trying to win a series against the Braves if you sweep tomorrow. But it just takes a little bit of the pressure off. You got to get to 6 wins on this homestand. Go 6-3 out of the 9 games. I think that's a very, very obtainable goal. We keep going. Appreciate it. We talk about the pitching. Do I think this bullpen would shut down teams deep in the playoffs? I think it's a big issue. I do think that we've got some guys that can be shut down. I really do. I think that the Rangers are going to be able to sustain some of the things they're doing with the bullpen. Now, would it be nice to get another arm in the mix? Maybe 2 arms in the mix? Absolutely. And we talked about this on the show. I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was on Monday. you're going to see some of the Rangers starting pitchers go to the bullpen, right? You're not going to have all 5, all 6 starters, whatever it is you end up with after the trade deadline. You're not going to have all your starters in the rotation in the playoffs. You're going to move some of them to the bullpen. And so I feel like the Rangers bullpen is going to be okay. I'd love to get one other really, really high quality arm in there. It doesn't have to be a household name. I've said this so many times, but we get new listeners coming in all the time, new viewers, and I want to make sure that we cover all of our bases here. I don't think it has to be household name, but someone who has been in high leverage this season, someone who's got good numbers. I would prefer it be somebody that's controllable, not just someone that you're getting for half a season. Maybe I'm getting a little bit greedy. I don't think you can totally trot out this exact setup right now. But I think if you add one other piece and then, kind of the addition by subtraction with the starting rotation, you're going to go down to 4 starters in the playoffs. So naturally, you're going to have a couple of dudes from the starting rotation available to pitch in October out of the pen. I think the Rangers are going to be okay. And yes, I am saying October. I do firmly believe that the Rangers can make the playoffs. I do believe that is a strong possibility. I believe that the Rangers will sneak in some way, somehow. I'm not predicting division, but I do think they, at minimum, get the wild card, that 3rd wild card spot. A lot can happen over the next 60 games or so. A lot. These wins, though, they're huge. And it's easy to go on a win streak. It's easy to go on a losing streak. Every win at this point, huge. Let's see. We keep going here. Rangers now at 3.18 team ERA. It's crazy that the Rangers have the lowest runs allowed in baseball right now. And yet they're only a couple games over 500. And that tells you how good the pitching's been. It tells you how suspect the offense has been at times as well. Who's starting the game on Saturday? I don't know if they have really mapped it out that far. The Rangers have kind of been notorious this year for not announcing starters too far out. By the way, I'm going to look it up and kind of go to see what we've got projected out for Friday, Saturday, and I'm going to look at some other scores. Houston and Arizona tied right now. Milwaukee and Seattle tied right now as well. So we kind of got our eyes on those matchups. The Yankees did win today. That's unfortunate. Rangers not able to gain ground on the Yanks. Toronto loses 5-4 at the hands of the Yankees. Beyond that, let's see what else. Boston loses. That's good news. Boston lost 4-1 today to Philadelphia. Tampa Bay, they did win. So the Rangers, I think, at least gain a game on the Red Sox, but the Yankees win, and then the Tampa Bay Rays win. So unfortunately not able to gain a game on them. Now, we go to tomorrow, and somebody was saying Evo maybe not going to pitch tomorrow, so my bad on that. If I jump the gun, looks like they still haven't officially determined it, but I think that it's a possibility, right? It's a possibility? Okay, I hope I didn't totally biff that one, but I thought they at least said possibility Evo's going tomorrow. Or did they say no? They said Evo was good to go? Jake, I thought I heard that too. I thought they had decided pre-game they were going with Evo. I mean, again, I got a lot going on. I'm tweeting during the game. I'm taking notes. I got a couple of kids that are wanting my attention. It's hard to catch everything the broadcast says, but I absolutely, just absolutely would love to see Evo tomorrow. It would be phenomenal. Him going right after deGrom for the series sweep, it'd be great. It would be great. Dylan, let's go Rangers, baby. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the comment on Instagram, man. Let's go Rangers. All right, let's keep rolling. What other comments we got? Let's go to YouTube. Let's check things out. Pastor, I'm with you on this one. It is outstanding to see Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, and all those guys, Adolis Garcia, go deep. Again, they had not all homered in the same game since September 24th of 2023. Phenomenal. When those guys all go deep, you're not going to lose many ball games. You're really not. You're really not. Dad, yeah, look, I got Instagram back up and running for a while. Instagram was giving me a little bit of trouble with the streaming service that I use to multi-stream. So, yeah, man, whatever works best for you. Appreciate the support of the channel, brother. Let's see. Is it just me or is Victory Plus not working for anyone? That'll have to get hashed out in the comments. I'm all on MLB TV, so I don't get to deal with the Victory Plus app. I get to watch the games just on the MLB app, and it works pretty well. Like I said, I get blacked out a ton in Vegas. We got a couple of workarounds. That's all I'll say. But still, I know it's frustrating with all these different streaming services that you got to deal with. God bless you guys. I actually feel a little fortunate. I really only have to deal with the MLB app being out of the state out here in Vegas. Let's keep rolling. Higgy hamstring injury today. Did not hear about that. So they pulled him out of the game? Is that what I saw? They pulled him out of the game? So let's go to the lineup real quick. Heim replaced. Not ideal, man. Higgy was 2 for 3 today. And I know a lot of people are down on Jonah right now. Hopefully, Jonah can seize the opportunity, man. That would be the goal for Jonah. He's been scuffling a little bit late offensively. Clearly, the defense is still totally legit. Jonah Heim, a Gold Glover. Love what we get from him behind the plate. I don't care what you say. The numbers don't lie. The advanced stats don't lie. Jonah's been solid behind the plate. He's been quality. But at the same time, you would love to see the back get going. So if Higgy is going to be out, I really hope Jonah Heim can step up. Look, I've said the Rangers in the offseason, depending on what happens down the stretch, may need to consider the catcher position. They may need to consider some alternatives there. You got Jonah Heim in a contract year. If you're not going to extend Jonah Heim, I think it's worth looking at some different options outside the organization. We know JT Realmuto is going to be a free agent. Obviously, he's going to want a pretty penny. I don't know if the Rangers are going to pony up for him. He's on my wish list. I love watching JT work behind the plate back there. I think he is one of the best catchers in the game. Obviously, he's got a good bat as well. Don't know what the Rangers' plans are at catcher, but I think for Jonah Heim, it's a big year for him. Going into the final year of his contract, I think it's a huge year for him, and I would love to see, seriously, we talk about realities here. We talk about the stats. The numbers don't lie. I say that so many times because I think that's what you have to do to take the emotion out of it as much as you can. We're all fans. We all want to see the Rangers do well. We all have our individual guys on the team that we cheer for and that we love. We have our favorites, but look, it's going to matter what Jonah Heim does with his opportunities here at the end of the season. And I want to see the man take over. Just grab the bull by the horns and take over this spot offensively. He has got to start waking up, especially in terms of the bat. Let's see. Good to face 789, but yeah, Armstrong has been good. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he did get a little fortuitous with the way the lineup fell there, but I still say Armstrong's been pretty solid. I keep rolling here. I really got to catch up on some of these YouTube comments here. Yep, a bunch of y'all, man. Thank you. Let me get to this one. Weird that Osuna went all the way to AA, not AAA. I actually saw something on X, so this isn't my take, but I thought that maybe they just want to keep him close. So I don't know if all y'all keep up with the AAA schedule, but right now, Round Rock is in Tacoma all week. They're literally playing 6 games in Tacoma. They were in Vegas. Now Round Rock is playing a 6-game series, 6 straight games in Tacoma, Washington. So my theory on Osuna going to AA, they want to keep him close. Maybe they're going to do a recall. I don't know for sure. I can't imagine after the promotion to AAA to begin the season that they are going to have him play AA now. I was kind of thinking they want to keep him close just in case they need him. Don't want him going all the way up to the Northwest to Tacoma where Round Rock is. So that's my take. I don't think that it's anything you need to read into. I don't think it's a negative on Osuna. I think it's more about proximity than anything else. All right, keep going. Corbin or Evo on the mound tomorrow. There we go. 1.5 out of a wild card spot with the Red Sox losing. Brian, yes, sir. Let's keep things rolling with the comments. We could be. TLC, it's a very strong possibility. We could be in a playoff spot by the end of the weekend if we play our cards right here. Mike, what's good, man? What's good? Thanks for hanging out, brother. Appreciate you. It's a great day to tune into the show, man. We always love these wins. We're here, rain or shine. You guys know the OGs, the one who have been with us forever. You guys know we're here, loss, win, rain, shine, whatever the conditions are. But obviously the shows are a lot more fun after a win. A lot less meltdown, anger, a lot more positive vibes, which you guys know I'm a big fan of. All right, let's keep going. Would love to see Mason Miller swap clubhouses. I don't think the Rangers are willing to give up what Mason Miller is going to cost. And I know Mason Miller is controllable, but I don't know if it's the right thing either. Hey, Brad, what's good, man? What's good? deGrom is the GOAT. I think that deGrom, regardless of Evo in the season he's having, give me deGrom in a Game 7. I think Jacob deGrom is the guy that you want on the mound. I know that Tarek Skubal's getting a lot of love right now. deGrom's been doing it longer. deGrom has been in bigger spots than Tarek Skubal. I don't think that Tarek Skubal is going to melt down in the playoffs, but I do trust deGrom right now and the body of work, how long he's been doing it, how well he's doing it, even at age 37. Give me Jacob deGrom in a do-or-die game with my season on the line. I'll live or die with Jacob deGrom, man, for sure, in a clutch game like that. And so, absolutely, love what I'm seeing from Jacob deGrom. So nice to have him back this year. Obviously, hope that he can continue to stay healthy. Look, you can't argue with the results. I know that there's a lot of people that whine about how they handle Jacob deGrom. I was saying this to the guys in the Discord. I'm like, we can't be hating on the plan. We can't be hating on the process. deGrom is healthy. deGrom is pitching well. What more do you want? I get it. You would love for the guy to throw every fifth day routinely. I'd love for the guy to give me 30 starts, which I think he's actually maybe on track for. I don't know if he'll quite get to 30, but you can't argue with the results, what they're doing with Jacob deGrom and how they've handled him coming out of a season where he was mostly injured. We got a little bit in August and September, but I'd love to see the whining about deGrom and how they're handling him cease to exist. I think they're doing just fine. Clearly, they've got October in mind. They want him to be healthy because you are going to have to use Jacob deGrom every fifth day, maybe every fourth day, depending on the playoff series and how it's going. Keep going. John, what's good, man? Agreed. Moving up in the standings. Can't ask for anything more. Angels are choking. That's good news for me. I'm going to drop a video later tonight. My Taylor Ward video. I already said Taylor Ward is, I think, up at the top of my wish list over Marcell Ozuna. I was high on Ozuna, but the hip injury has me a little worried. I would love to see the Rangers. I don't know if the Angels are going to do it. They gave us Josh Hamilton. I don't know if they would be willing to give us Taylor Ward, but if they go in the toilet, that would be a nice get if you can somehow find a way. And I don't think you'd have to give up a whole lot to get him. I think maybe one of the AAA outfielders you throw in to kind of replenish the outfield supply for Los Angeles, and then maybe a couple of low-level lotto ticket arms, if you will. I don't think it would be a crazy price to get Taylor Ward, who's controllable for 2026 as well. And here's why I like Ward. He's a guy that can hit lefties, right-handed bat. We need more right-handed bats. Clearly, I love what I saw from Michael Hellman, from Cody Freeman. I don't know if it's sustainable long-term, and I don't know if we can expect it either from a couple of guys that don't have a lot of big league experience. Would I love for Cody Freeman and Michael Hellman to just light the rest of the season on fire, hit 300 with, 15, 20 bombs? Absolutely. But can we count on that? I don't know. And that's why I would love to see the Rangers go get some insurance. We've definitely done the bet on bounce backs strategy. Last year, that's what we did, right? We bet on bounce backs in the second half. We thought, no way Adolis Garcia is going to continue to struggle in the second half of 2024. No way that we're going to see Jonah Heim continue to struggle into the second half of 2024. And it just didn't go so well. So for me, I want the insurance policy. I want to go get a right-handed bat. Taylor Ward, the chase rate is elite. Dude does not swing and miss. We've got a lot of guys on the opposite end of that. A lot of guys on the opposite end of Taylor Ward and the chase rate. The hard hit is elite. The squared up percentage is elite. The defense is above average as well. I think he could be also DH insurance. Yes, you've got Jock Peterson, but Jock can only play against righties. So Taylor Ward, kind of an instant option there, DH. If Evan Carter needs to be out for lefties, you can plug him into the outfield. I think it's a great fit. I know that he costs about $7 million, and some people were kind of pushing back. That means the Rangers are going to be spending most of their money on Taylor Ward. I don't think you have to do anything too crazy in this trade deadline. If you get Taylor Ward and you get a low-cost bullpen arm, perfect. I don't think you need to do a whole lot else. All right, there's my Taylor Ward soapbox for you guys. We'll see if it works out. I'd love to see it. Reel will be dropping on that a little bit later tonight. John Gray should be back this weekend. Would love to see it. Tristan, good to see you, buddy. Hey, enjoy the game. Jealous, man. Corbin listed for tomorrow. Okay, Corbin listed to tomorrow. All good. We keep rolling here. I'm way behind on all the comments. I know, guys. Appreciate you. If you get Ward, would you send Wyatt to AAA? Really good question. Totally valid question. I think that it's a possibility. I don't know if they're going to let Wyatt Langford just continue to struggle. I think that they might have a tough decision to make with Wyatt. I don't want to see him demoted. I don't want to see him get sent to AAA. But they might have a tough decision to make, genuinely. So we'll see what happens with Wyatt Langford. I'm hoping that we don't even have to talk about it and he can bust out of this slump. But we read the numbers out loud last night. They're not great. Wyatt is having some trouble with the plate discipline and vision. We know that he's got one of the fastest bats in the league. We know he can hit the ball as hard as anyone in the game of baseball. But we'd love to see more line drives and we'd love to see more plate discipline. I think those are the two things that you'd really like to see Wyatt turn around. Right now, the sweet spot percentage, very, very low. A lot of pop-ups, a lot of hard ground balls from Wyatt. You'd love to see a hitter like him. More line drives. Use those wheels, hit those balls in the gap. The home runs are going to come naturally. You'd love to see Wyatt hit more line drives. And maybe that's something, if he does have to get demoted, that they're going to be able to work on a little bit more intensively at the AAA level, but I surely hope it doesn't happen. But Hardchuck, yeah, if you do go get Ward, there might be an odd man out. I don't know who it would be. I would assume you keep Adolis Garcia. I know Jeff Passan put out an article, 50-50 on the trade. We'll see. We will see what happens. Keep going. I'm scrolling down on YouTube, by the way. I want to make sure that I get everybody's comments in, but feel free to repost. I want to catch up here. Taylor Ward, yes. Taylor Ward, that's who we're talking about. Taylor Ward, about 800 OPS right now. I think he's got, does he have like 23 bombs, something like that? Look, I would love if the Angels would be willing to do it. I don't know if they will. We'll see. 23 bombs on the year. Average is a little low. I know some people are going to whine about the average. We know that baseball is trending a little away from the averages. The OPS is solid. Again, the chase rate, solid. The hard contact, sweet spot. There's line drives in his swing. I think you're probably not going to go top tier trade deadline piece. I think Taylor Ward is a really solid piece, though, that you can get if the Angels are willing to trade in division. They did it with Josh Hamilton about 10 years ago. Maybe that was a special circumstance, but I'd love to see them do it again. Now, a couple of y'all were suggesting, could I see Osuna and Bratt? Yes, actually, Jerry, same wavelength. You know, in the baseball trade values, Bratt was a guy. I think what I did was Bratt, Scarborough, and Harris. Look, I like Scarborough a lot. I like Mitch Bratt a ton. I actually really don't want to see those guys get traded. I think, though, that what you're looking for is some of the lower level pitchers, right? Guys that aren't necessarily top 15. I think Mitch Bratt is a top 20. I think he's just outside of the top 15. I think Scarborough is somewhere in the mid-20s right now. Again, I really like those guys a lot, actually. I've been watching them a lot down in the minor leagues this year. But yes, I do think it would be maybe a Dustin Harris type, maybe an Osuna. I actually don't want to see them trade Osuna, but I would probably say, yes, AAA outfielder, lower tier, lower level pitcher, maybe 2 of them, and I think that will get you Ward. Now, the reason why you got to maybe give up 3 pieces instead of 2, Ward is controllable next year. You would be getting Ward for this year and for next year. If he was a half-season rental, the price wouldn't be so high. All right, we keep going. Adolis, I think Adolis goes so they can reallocate his money on a back-end bullpen. Maybe, Ryan, you might have a point there. Adolis, according to Jeff Passan, 50-50 shot. I tend to think, though, if they are going to be in the playoff mix, I think they keep Adolis. I find it really hard to believe you think you're going to win a World Series, but we're going to trade Adolis Garcia. Maybe. That would be radical. I can't say, don't trade Adolis or we riot. I don't know if I'd be on that page, but it just feels like if the Rangers are in a playoff spot, they are going to trade Adolis maybe in the offseason instead. I don't know if they're going to be giving Adolis a long-term contract. I would be really surprised if that was the case. We'll see. What do I know? CY's obviously got his strategy. Fenstermaker, Figueroa, all those guys, they got their strategy, but we'll see what happens. Sebastian Walcott taking forever to get called up. I don't think Walcott is going to be called up this year at all. I think Walcott might have a chance to make the roster in 26, but I actually wouldn't be shocked if they push it to 27. Walcott's so young, you don't have to rush Sebastian Walcott up to the big leagues. In fact, I'd rather them not rush the development. Wyatt probably could use a rest day for sure. Ryan, I'm with you. I love Adolis Garcia. I really don't want to see him go, but I just think the writing's on the wall. He'll be 34 years old at the end of the rookie deal. I don't think that Adolis Garcia is going to give you a team-friendly, and rightfully so. I want to see Adolis go out and get a bag. This is his first chance at free agency. He should go out and pursue a 2 or 3 year contract based on what the Rangers are doing with their money this offseason, the past offseason. I don't think they're going to pony up for Adolis Garcia, and I do think there's a team that would be willing to give him a good multi-year deal. I don't know what exactly it looks like, but I think there's a team that will give him 2 or 3 years and pay him $10 to $15 million a season. I think so. I would be surprised if there's not some takers out there. So I don't think the Rangers are going to get some team-friendly hometown discount for Adolis. And that's, again, another reason why I say, from a business perspective, you might need to consider a trade in the offseason. Keep going. Brian, every time Seager, I said this to the guys in the Discord, every time Seager runs hard, I do hold my breath. I love Corey, but clearly the hamstring issues, when he's going all out, a part of you loves to see it, but a part of you is like, dude, please, harden the throat. You're just hoping that he gets up with no limp and he goes into that base without any issues, that the finger, hitting the base weird or whatever the case may be. But it was nice seeing Corey leg out that double for sure. That was big. Keep going. All right. Let's see. What do I got on TikTok? Do we trade Young? I don't think so. I think that Josh Young is a guy that the Rangers have a lot of control over for the next few seasons. I've said Young isn't untouchable, but if you're going to trade Josh Young, you better be getting something really, really special. I don't think Josh Young is untouchable. I don't think the Rangers are going to trade him. The only way you trade Josh Young is if somebody really, really wants him and they're overpaying and you're really getting a nice package. Ray, I'm with you, baby. 3 series wins in a row. We take it. Doley's one of the most clutch guys in the league. You need him in October. That's kind of what I'm saying. I think if the Rangers are in a playoff spot, I don't think that you're going to be trading Adolis. I know that trading him opens things up a little bit. Honestly, if you're going to trade somebody, I know that Tyler Mahle is not going to really be an option because he's injured right now. Mahle would have been the guy to consider because he's getting paid, I think, $16 million John Gray would probably be the guy that you consider trading. $13 million in salary. Clearly, it's a little less than that at this point. But I think if you're going to trade a guy for salary dump, you would probably trade John Gray before you trade Adolis Garcia if salary dump is your main goal. I think they want to keep John Gray for the postseason and for this run as well. I don't think they want to trade John Gray. My point is, if you're strictly going salary dump, want to clear some room, why wouldn't you consider a guy that's making more money among pitchers? I know deGrom and Evo are obviously getting paid more, Tyler Mahle as well, but John Gray making $13 million a year, that would be the guy I would probably look at if what I'm really trying to do is dump some salary. Let's see. I agree on Young. Mike says you don't trade good players when their value's down. Yeah, look, and Young's value is down. We're not trying to hate or troll when we say that, but bro just spent a week and a half, 2 weeks in the minor leagues. Like, the stock is not as high as it's ever been. It's just not. Right now, you've got Young clearly in a little bit of a groove, right? He had another single tonight, reached base 3 times last night, but it's been 2 games. You need Josh Young to play well for an extended period to get the value back up. And again, I only think you're going to be trading Josh Young if they are wowing you, whatever team is just wowing you with a package, or you're going to be getting somebody really special, really controllable, an all-star level player. That's what I'm saying. You think they should try and re-sign Gray, McJowers? I don't know if I'm on the re-sign Gray train, man. I really don't know about that. I think if Gray wants to sign some kind of friendly deal, sure. Gray's obviously already made some money in free agency. I could see it, but I don't know. I don't know where John Gray's head is at. I wouldn't be mad at it, but if John Gray's trying to make $13 million again, I don't think that's going to fly. It's going to be a curious offseason. The Rangers are going to have a lot of salary freed up. They're going to have about $30 million in salary freed up, Gray and Mahle alone. You've got Jonah Heim, who's going to be making $7 or $8 million. Adolis Garcia is going to be making close to $10 million. And I said this, I think they're going to want to clear some space to make a run at one of the big free agents. Kyle Tucker is going to be crazy expensive. I think Tucker might be hitting a little bit above the weight class, but I would love to see the Rangers make a run at Tuck. If you can't get Tuck, again, Schwarber's out there, JT Realmuto's out there. I think the Rangers are going to clear some space to try and make a run at one of these offensive players. I really think the front office is tired of the offensive deficiencies. I think the offense is going to be a major issue in the offseason, something that the front office will address, and I think that they are going to maybe turn a little away from bargains like they've done over the past couple of off seasons. And I think they're going to try and hit a home run with a no-doubter type, a Realmuto, a Schwarber, a Kyle Tucker. That's my prediction. We'll see if it comes true. Eric, what's good, man? Yeah, look, I don't know where I was at. Maybe I just wasn't popping up in the feed and the algorithm. I don't know. I wasn't posting as much tonight during the game. Honestly, there wasn't a lot going on until the Semien and Seager home runs. It was kind of a ho-hum game, and it's, kind of a testament to Jacob deGrom and how he just mows through offenses, honestly. But it was a bit of a ho-hum game until Semien and Seager went deep. Let's see. Bradford out next year. Corbin and Mahle gone. But Bradford only got the brace surgery, right? So isn't it a possibility Bradford comes back like midsummer? I don't think Bradford's going to be out all year, McJowers. I thought he just got the brace surgery. It wasn't the full Tommy John, so maybe he'll be back at some point in the second half. Still, I mean, look, having him out for the first 3 months, you got to address that. But I think Bradford will be back at some point in 2026. Heim will be non-tendered. That's why I said, dude better grab the bull by the horns if Higgy has to miss any time, because I think y'all noticed Higgy was taking over the catching spot. Dude started again tonight. I think they were kind of starting and very willing to give Kyle Higashioka the lion's share of the catcher responsibilities. Jonah was kind of slipping with the playing time of late. So if Higgy has to miss any time, Jonah better be taking it over as best he can, man. This is your time to shine. A little buzz about Clase, huh? Yeah, look, would it be fun? Would it be a cool story? Emmanuel Clase coming back after, look, I really like Corey Kluber. I think he's a great dude. Every time I would hear Corey Kluber get interviewed, I just thought, what a solid dude. It's a shame that he only got to pitch literally one inning for us. Or not even, did he even finish an inning? I mean, it's a shame how the trade worked out. It was a weird year anyways with the COVID year. But nevertheless, you definitely would love to see the reunion. Clase has had some ups and downs in October. I don't know if you take that with a grain of salt or not, but would the reunion be cool? Absolutely. I think the Rangers maybe end up getting one of the Twins relievers. Duran, and who's the other guy? There's another reliever for the Twins that was on that list, that top 50 list as well. That's my prediction. I think maybe the Rangers go get one of those Twins relievers, either Duran or the other guy who's available. Let me know what the name is if you know it off the top of your tongue. Caleb, what's good, man? I don't know if you're still hanging out. Hope you are. Thank you for tuning in. I'm like kind of low-key killing it, checking the Instagram comments. For a while, Instagram was being really wonky with me and the lives, but I'm glad we got it locked in. Could I see the Rangers getting Bautista from the O's? I think Bautista's another guy that you'd love to have. I have really enjoyed following Bautista this year, being that he's on the trade block. A lot of teams are interested in him. Throws upper 90s, has got some great off speed. He's a guy that kind of feels a little bit like a Chapman type ad, if you will. You remember Chapman, he brought the firepower, obviously the lefty firepower, the 100-mile-an-hour heat. Bautista is kind of the righty version of the Chapman edition, I think, if you go out and get him. Duran from Minnesota would be the same thing. So I would love, Caleb, if we went out and got Bautista. Some of y'all were talking about Adley Rutschman. I don't see the Rangers going out and getting Adley Rutschman. I don't think the Orioles are going to trade him. I know that he's been struggling since the last All-Star break, so like a year ago. This struggle has kind of been ongoing for Adley, but I don't think the Orioles are going to give up on him. I know he's been thrown around. Shoot, Holiday was getting thrown around a little bit as a trade piece. I don't think they're going to be trading Holiday either. A lot gets thrown around during this time of the year. A lot of trade rumors, a lot of people trying to get clicks. I get it. Look, as someone that, is definitely making sure that I keep engagement up as well, I try not to be clickbaity, but I get it. I don't think Adley, I don't think Holiday are going to be going anywhere. We'll see. Maybe, again, like I was talking about with Young, somebody wants to highly overpay for one of those dudes, maybe. But I do think Bautista probably gets traded, and if the Rangers can go out and get him, sweet. Would love to see it. Caleb, appreciate the comment, my guy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Keep it coming. If you got something you want to get off your chest, you got a question, you got a strategy the Rangers should employ down the stretch here for the trade deadline, you let me know. We'll get to it. We keep going here. deGrom had 28 swings and misses tonight. Mike with the stats, man. Love it. Love it. Where's Gio when you need him? Gio on YouTube. He's usually our stats guy. Mike, good pinch hitting, man. Although you're awesome all the time with the comments anyways, man. But deGrom, 28 swings and misses. Is that good? Is 28 swings and misses good? Asking for a friend. Yeah, that's why I say deGrom, the pedigree, the amount of time he's done it. Give me deGrom in any do-or-die game. I will say this a million more times before the season is over. You might get sick of it. I don't care. That is how good Jacob deGrom is. And I'm glad that he is having the season that he is, because I came in hot at the beginning of the year. There are some people that forgot just how masterful this man is pitching a baseball. I know the injuries. He had kind of become a butt of some of the jokes in the offseason and just in general around baseball. A lot of people down on Jacob deGrom. I hope he's reminding some people. I know he's reminding some of the hitters that are stepping in the box against him. That's for sure. We keep going. A lot of buzz going around about the end of the 26th season and a lockout. Absolutely, McJowers, we were talking about that. we were talking about the lockout, and we were just saying this is going to be a really interesting offseason because you might see some teams that are a little bit hesitant with the lockout. I think almost most certainly happening after the 2026 year. That 2026 offseason, I feel really bad for the guys that are going to be free agents after 2026. So look, Adolis, Jonah Heim, some of these guys we're talking about that are going into their first year of free agency, absolutely sucks that it has to be a lockout year. We remember what happened last lockout. You guys remember that? It was like one of the most painstaking starts to free agency you've ever seen. There were a bunch of really high-quality dudes that were unsigned, and it was like March. It was like March. It wasn't – I forget who it was. Was it Bryce Harper? Wasn't Harp like a really late signing? I know he signed with the Phillies. Maybe I'm making that up. But there were a couple of really high-quality bats last lockout that did not get signed for a while. So I think, yeah, Skubal, clearly he is the top of that class, man. What is that contract going to be? I do feel bad for the guys that are going into free agency for the first time after the 26th year. That lockout really screws a lot of hardworking guys over, I feel like, because the teams don't want to dish out these huge contracts with the uncertainty. Yeah, Brian, you're right on that. Some didn't even sign until after the season had started. There were a number of guys, and I remember it was a big talking point. A lot of veteran players were really frustrated, especially a lot of the guys that finally got out under the thumb of the rookie deal and we're looking forward to their very first free agency, unrestricted free agency. So you hope that the lockout doesn't do that to some of the guys that are becoming FAs for the first time after 26. I have a bad feeling that it will happen. I hope that the players' union and the owners are able to work something out because, look, we all lose. We're all not going to be getting to watch baseball with the lockout, or we're not going to be getting to watch as much baseball. I think the start to the last lockout, when I think it was delayed a little bit, right? Didn't we have a delayed start to the season? We started like in May or something weird, wasn't it? I forget what it was. It was something like that. Look, Eric, I tend to agree with you, but somebody brought it up, and I don't mind talking about it. But, yeah, look, we'll see what happens. We got to cross that bridge when we get to it, that's for sure. Cody Bradford's out for the season, but he'll be back next year, I think, in the middle of the year. All right, we keep going here. We're good on comments. TikTok, let me lock in on you guys. Lockout, basically the CBA, the work agreement, the contract between the players' union, the owners, that expires after 2026. So lockout is, again, when both of those sides can't agree. They call it a lockout. Basically, the players aren't able to go to any of the facilities. They get locked out of the facilities. They don't go to work. They don't show up. They got to do their own thing, training, off-season, all that stuff until an agreement is reached. Daniel, yes, sir. Texas Rangers win. Alex, I talked about Taylor Ward from the Angels. That's the bat I'd like to see them go get. If you go get a bat, I would really strongly prefer you not go get a left-handed bat. We've got plenty of lefty bats. Plenty of lefty bats right now. I mean, you got Jock Peterson coming back who's a lefty. You've got Evan Carter. You've already got all these dudes that are lefties and kind of platoon players. I don't want to see us go get another lefty bat. I really don't. So if you're going to go get a bat, it needs to be a right-handed bat, a guy that can hit righties and lefties alike. I think Taylor Ward would be a perfect fit. Zach, don't want to see Berger back. I think you got to give Berg the rest of the year, Zach. Look, obviously, we're all entitled to our own opinions. I think give Berger the rest of the year. I do think the Rangers reevaluate first base in the offseason. I think they have to decide, do we want to roll with Berg, who's under contract, I think, until 29 as well? Berger's still got multiple years of control left. Do we want to roll with Berg, or do we want to go a different direction? We'll see what they decide to do. I think they're going to let the contract, though, for this year play itself out. I don't think there's any reason to abandon ship on Jake Berger yet. Clearly, you want to see Berg work it out. He's got potential. He's been a 30 home run guy almost year in and year out. I would love to see Jake turn it around. One of the better dudes in the game of baseball. What he does for the community is incredible. a guy you want to see do well. I mean, there's a lot of guys like that, I think, on the Rangers, but I don't think you give up on Berger. That would be a little bit of a knee-jerk panic button move that I really don't want to see happen. Go D-backs. D-backs just scored? Yes, sir. Brian, thank you for the update. That's what we like to see. Hey, it'd be great to gain a game on the Mariners and the Astros. This is when you got to do it, too. When the Astros and when the Mariners are playing quality competition, Mariners playing the Brewers right now. What do they got, a 12-game win streak? And the Astros playing the Diamondbacks. Look, the Diamondbacks are a good team. They are a good team. So I would love to see the Rangers beat up on the A's while the Mariners and the Astros have a tough time with their competition. More worried about the Mariners game than the Astros game? Well, of course, because the Mariners are most directly in front of Texas in the wild card race, 100%. Jacob deGrom got 9 strikeouts, Max, 9 strikeouts. Milwaukee is crazy hot. There's a guy at the church that I go to, big Brewers fan. And look, we go back and forth. Brewers and Rangers clearly isn't a big rivalry. But with that being said, we joke all the time. Brewers, awesome in the regular season. Awesome in the regular season. But in the playoffs, a little bit of a different story. So we'll see what happens with the Brewers. 12-game win streak is phenomenal. Can you do it in October, right? That's kind of the big question at this point. Let me do a little update in here. I'm going to get the Game Day app off the screen here, and we're going to update the ticker down below here. Continue on with the comments. We'll keep going here. Josh has too many errors at first when filling in there. I don't feel like he's been terrible with the errors. What y'all feel that way about Josh Young, the errors? I don't know about that. Doesn't feel like Josh Smith has been real bad at first base. Feels like he's actually been pretty good. Jake Berger, I think, has been really solid. I was very, very impressed with everything Berger was bringing to the table defensively. I know he had a couple of plays here and there, but still. What do I think about Pete Alonso here? He's having a great year. That would be cool. Like I said, I think the Rangers are going to have a decision to make at the end of this season. I don't think they're going to do anything with first base this year. And truth be told, they've got enough first base options. You can play Josh Smith at first base if Berger's struggling. You can play Jock Peterson at first base if Berger's struggling. You can bring Dustin Harris up to play first base. You've got a lot of first base options. I don't think that they're going to address first base this year. Could they do it next year with Pete Alonso, with somebody else in free agency? Sure. Mike, look, the division is not out of reach. The division is not out of reach. I really feel like it's still in play. Even though the Astros built that crazy lead, y'all remember last year, the Mariners built a crazy lead. The Mariners, I think, were up 9 or 10 games at one point last season. You guys remember this? And they ended up losing the division to the Astros. So it's kind of crazy. I don't think a 10-game lead at this point is totally insurmountable. Yes, clearly you've got to count on the team in first place losing some ball games, but I never felt like the Astros had like this crazy, safe, insurmountable lead. 17 players on the IL is wild. That is wild. The Astros, I got to give them some credit and respect. What they've been able to do this season with all the injuries. You got to respect it. You don't have to like them. You don't have to love them. In fact, you can hate them. But respect what they've been able to do with 17 dudes on the IL, including Yordan Alvarez. I will throw that out there for any of the Astros fans hanging out. We got a few real solid ones that come by every once in a while. Obviously, we get our fair share of trolls, but I've said that many times. I respect what they've been able to do. Joe Espada, I think you got to give him credit, man. He's been able to navigate those rocky waters with all of the guys going down. It's impressive. I hate it, but I respect it. It's impressive. Yeah, look, I'm with you. They are a well-run organization. Yes, the cheating stuff, clearly they moved on a little bit from that. Never going to let them live it down. I mean, don't get it twisted. Never going to let them live that down. But since they moved on from all that, and obviously they moved on from certain players that were a part of that as well, Altuve still in the mix, but I got to give it to them. They do put out a winning product basically year in and year out. I can't say that they are winning enough to beat the Rangers in October, but look, we don't need to get into that. We don't need, let's get into it a little bit. Wasn't that awesome, man? 4-3, game 7. Oh, game 6 and 7. Beautiful memories. Beautiful, beautiful memories, man. Oh, shoot. 44, thank you, man. Appreciate the comment. Look, we don't gotta talk anymore about it. I think we've given them enough flowers for the evening. Keep going. Are the Rangers 100% buyers now? Irv, I would like to think so. Appreciate the comment, my guy. I'd like to think the Rangers are buyers now. That being said, look, baseball changes quickly. It can change very, very quickly. You win a few in a row, you lose a few in a row, and now we're back to talking about sell mode. However, with the A's game tomorrow, with the Braves coming into town a little bit down, I think the Rangers have a really good chance to put themselves in a very, very solid position. I think CY is going to buy. I think he's too competitive to throw in the towel. I think he's kind of priming the pump a little bit to kind of get people's expectations down. He put out a quote basically like, I think he said, there's really nobody external that is going to help improve our team more than the guys that we've got producing better. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Appreciate the follow, by the way. Thank you so much. See a couple of y'all followed on TikTok. Thank you. I think that he's trying to prime the pump a little bit. People are obviously really, really wanting to know buyers, sellers. I think he's trying to set it up so the expectations are a little bit lower. I think he's going to go out and buy. I don't think it's going to be something crazy. I think Taylor Ward or a player of that caliber is about the craziest it's going to get. I would be shocked if it is a blockbuster deal like for Mason Miller, Trent. Look, would I love Miller? Yes. I think that would be outstanding if you're talking about strengthening the bullpen. A lot of teams want to try and make Mason Miller a starter. We talked about this. There's a lot of teams out there that want Mason Miller to be a starter. Okay. I mean, maybe. I know Chapman kind of dabbled in that a little bit as well, right? The Reds tried to make him a starter. He ultimately ended up back in the bullpen. Depends, I guess, on what Mason Miller wants to do. I can't see the Rangers ponying up the capital to go get Mason Miller. But if they did, I'm not going to complain. I just wonder, what are you going to have to give up to go get Mason Miller with all the years of control he's got? Now you're talking about top 15 prospects. I'm a little bit more of the mindset in this game. If you're a GM, obviously prospects are important. It's great to have a good farm system. And the Rangers, I think, have a lot of high quality individuals in the farm system. I really do. But with that being said, it is so hard to make it to the major leagues. It's so difficult. And even if you kill it in AAA, it doesn't always mean you're going to have success at the major league level. We've seen that happen with some of the guys that have gotten called up from AAA, right? And so I think with what the Rangers have going on right now, Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi in their prime, you're in win now mode. I would think that the Rangers would be willing to give up some prospects in order to improve the team right now to really maximize what you've got with some of these veterans that are in their prime but aren't going to be in their prime forever. I don't know if they're going to say screw the tax, though, Austin. The fan in me wants them to be willing to do that. I just don't think they're going to be able to. I do like Ozuna a lot. I think that the hip injury is going to disqualify him a little bit. He's dealing with a hip injury that they said is going to have to be managed pretty much all season long. So for me, that makes me a little less high on Ozuna. Davis is boring. Yeah, look, the not going over the luxury tax kind of kills me, but I get it. It's a business. They're trying to make money, but it kind of sucks as a fan. You love to see some of the teams that are up at the top of baseball that are willing to go over, but look, the Rangers do have one of the higher payrolls in the game. We got to be real about that. So as much as we clown and dog on Ray Davis and all the front office, I got to say, it's one of the highest payrolls in baseball. I know we don't think about it a lot like that, but it is true. Jock is, I think, doing BP, and I think he's going to go out on a rehab assignment. So I would think post-trade deadline, maybe he makes his debut. second half debut, if you will. I don't think he's going to be back before then, though. Yeah, I think the Dodgers are going to be okay, though. I don't think the Dodgers are going to totally melt down. I actually think they'll probably still be relevant. I don't think that they're going to melt down. I think that they will probably figure out a way. They've got way too much talent. But, yes, they're not in a good way right now. Mookie Betts struggling. A couple other guys on the team not performing up to expectations. So I think the Dodgers are going to be okay. But, yeah, it can happen. You can spend a lot of money, and it doesn't end up going anywhere. Mariners on the board, lead 1-0. Cal Raleigh goes deep. There you go. Like I said, it's not going to shock me if Cal keeps it up, but historically, catchers do tend to dip a little bit in the second half. It's a tough position. We'll see, though. Maybe Cal is going to be the exception. Rangers should go get Bautista. I would think so. Brent Rooker. Now, look, hard chuck. Brent Rooker, if you're talking right-handed bats, that'd be phenomenal. I think Brent Rooker is going to cost a lot more than Taylor Ward, though. I don't know what Brent Rooker is going to cost. You go Brent Rooker, you're definitely giving up some top 15, maybe top 10 prospects. I think Rook has some control as well. Brent Rooker's contract is really affordable. So Brent Rooker, you're going to have to be paying, I think, a pretty high price on. I would love to have him on the team. I think that's a right-handed bat that would work really well in this lineup. But I don't know if the Rangers are going to be able to pull the trigger on a deal like that. Is Heim gone to be traded? I think it's more likely what some of you said, that this is kind of a put up or shut up year for Jonah Heim. Is he going to put up good numbers enough for you to want to give him the $8 million or whatever he's going to be making next year? Or are you going to part ways? Maybe they can find a trade partner, but I'm really hoping that Jonah figures it out. I want to see him do well. All right, let's keep rolling. Rook is also 30. Yeah, he is a little bit on the older side, but look, Rook at 30, I'll take that. 30 to 33, 30 to 34. I think that's fine. I'm not too worried. If he was 34 or 35, I'd be a little more worried. I don't think Garcia is going to get traded if we're in a playoff spot, Caleb. Appreciate the comments, man. I think if we're in a playoff spot, he'll probably actually end up sticking. But I do think in the offseason, that is going to be a time where the Rangers strongly consider getting value out of him as he goes into a contract year. Check for cork in Cal's bat. Oh, that's funny. How is Yates doing? I think he's sub. I don't think he's sub 4. I think he's over 4 for his ERA. I'll look it up right now. Kirby Yates ERA. Let's go. 389. Okay, he is sub 4. Look, up quite a bit from the 1.2 he was at with Texas last year. I think the Rangers did okay letting him go. I really liked Kirby Yates a lot. Was interested in them bringing him back. Don't get me wrong. I think the Rangers probably look back, though, on letting Kirby Yates walk and probably have to feel pretty good about it considering the numbers right now. I know we miss Kirby. Would love to have him at the back end. Hard to do the butterfly effect thing. Like, if we would have signed him, would he still have a 3.86 ERA? I don't know. Maybe it'd be much lower. Who knows? But I think the Rangers are going to look back and probably be okay that they let him walk. We keep rolling. Appreciate you guys hanging out. What kind of bullpen role should we expect with John Gray? High leverage. Why would you want John Gray in any other role in the bullpen? I'm thinking high leverage. 8th inning. Maybe he gets some 9th innings. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be using him in that role if you are, in fact, going to use him in the bullpen. I think he'll probably start some games. I don't think he's necessarily going to be relegated to the bullpen for the rest of the season. I think you're going to see John Gray probably start some games here and there. But if you're going to have him in the bullpen, why would you want him as long relief guy? Throw John Gray in the 8th inning. Throw him in a bases loaded, a 2 runners on, 1st and 3rd situation in the 7th. Get him in high leverage moments. That's where I want a veteran pitcher like John Gray. A dude with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, wipeout slider. I want to see John Gray in high leverage in pressure situations. 100%. Yates was lightning in a bottle? Perhaps. I think it's very possible. We talked about it last year on the show, even in the offseason. We talked about it's highly likely that Kirby Yates is not going to duplicate a 1.2 ERA. I thought he would maybe still be in the twos. I didn't think he'd be high threes with the ERA. But I think, again, the Rangers are probably going to look back and be okay with letting Kirby Yates walk in free agency. Would be nice to find another Napoli kind of player. 44, I think that's what they were kind of hoping for with Jake Berger. I think they were kind of hoping for that with Berger, honestly. He and Latz will have a piggyback game. Ryan, that makes sense to me. I think Latz is probably going to be a guy that ends up sticking around a little bit in the rotation. That's why I'm curious. Do you sell Patrick Corbin knowing you've got Latz, knowing you've got Gray? It makes sense. Or do you sell John Gray? Do you get John Gray in the mix, throw him in the bullpen, have him maybe appear 3 or 4 times before the deadline, and do you shop John Gray? I don't know. There's some really intriguing alternatives here. I'm not sure what I want to see happen completely. I don't think that you should hang on to everybody. I think Patrick Corbin, I think one of those guys probably does need to get traded. I don't think you need quite that much excess. We'll see what they decide to do. Hey, what's good? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good day. Good to see you. Thank you for the follow, Eric. Appreciate you. Dodgers bullpen is shot. And look, the Dodgers are just having a down moment, man. I really don't think they are going to be terrible for that long. I think they're probably going to bounce back sooner rather than later. Corbin is a perfect Dodger. I think Corbin probably gets traded. I think you feel good about Latz. I think you feel good about John Gray coming back. Malley's coming back. Somebody's probably going to get traded in there. I really would be shocked if Malley, Gray, Corbin, all 3 of those guys survive. I think Malley is just because of the injury. But Corbin and Gray, it's going to be curious. Again, if you want to go salary dump, John Gray makes $13 million a year. If you clear out that salary, now you're cooking with gas going out and acquiring guys that are making more than the league minimum. All right, keep rolling here. Let me check Instagram. Hey, Dallas Sports Fan Forever, what's good? Thanks for hanging out. Small crowd on Instagram. I think we got up to like 3 or 4 people. TikTok, YouTube, X, we usually get a few more, but I appreciate you hanging out. We're trying to build things up a little bit on Instagram, but Dallas Sports Fan Forever, appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the comment as well. Let's keep rolling. Let's preview the game for tomorrow, and then we are going to wrap things up for the night. We have been going an hour 15, so let's take a look. Tomorrow's game. Let me refresh the Wednesday matchups here. Corbin has been announced. J.P. Sears is throwing. He has been a Ranger stopper, man. J.P. Sears has not been kind to Texas. Hopefully we're due, as they say, and the Rangers will have another big day offensively. But Ezekiel Duran, he hits JP pretty well. 357 average, 828 OPS. Might we see Zeke Duran tomorrow? In 14 career at-bats, 357 average. Adolis Garcia, he does not hit JP Sears very well. 154 batting average in 26 career at-bats. Jonah Heim has homered off of JP Sears. I think we will see Heim tomorrow. He is 333, 6 for 18 with 5 RBI against JP Sears. Hellman, he has not faced Sears. Maybe we'll see Hellman back in the mix with Haggerty injured and Evan Carter probably taking a seat. Josh Young, 5 for 15. There we go. Wyatt Langford, it might be a rest day tomorrow for Wyatt. Wyatt Langford is 1 for 11. Does have a home run off JP, but is 1 for 11 off of JP Sears, A's probable starter for tomorrow in his career. Corey Seager, 2 for 13 off of JP Sears, 154 batting average. So Seager has had some trouble with JP. Semien, 2 homers off of Sears, 231 batting average and 26 ABs. Josh Smith, 0 for 2. Maybe Josh Smith takes a seat tomorrow as well. So, look, there is a little bit of success in the lineup off of Sears. It just hasn't gotten all pieced together in probably the last 2 or 3 starts. Now, on the other side, Andujar, 429 average with a home run off of Patrick Corbin. Look out for Andujar. Lawrence Butler is 1 for 4 with a home run as well off of Patrick Corbin. Langoliers is 2 for 5. Brent Rooker, 1 for 5 against Patrick Corbin. Schumann, the third baseman, 1 for 2. Soderstrom, 1 for 6 with 2 RBI, lifetime against Patrick Corbin. Urshela, looks like 2 for 9 in his career. Urias, the second baseman, 5 for 15 with the home run. Look out for Urias tomorrow. And then Jacob Wilson, 1 for 4. So again, on each side, some guys with some success, good track record against the opposing starter. And then you've got some guys that haven't fared very well. So tomorrow for Patrick Corbin, look out for Butler and Andujar. Look out for Shea Langoliers. And the other guy, Urias, with the home run, 5 for 15. Those 4 guys, got to be a little careful with if you're Patrick Corbin. Pat has been a guy that has been very consistent for Texas in that 5th starter spot, 6-7 on the year with a 3.91 ERA and 80 Ks. Patrick Corbin over his last, 3 outings, 16 2/3, almost 17 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. As we like to say. Is that good? Yeah, it's pretty good. 17 innings pitched, 4 earned runs over your last 3 outings. Hello. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let me go to comments one more time before the show ends. Want to say a special thank you to all of my paid members and subscribers on YouTube and on TikTok as well. Thank you so much for your support. Look, we appreciate everything, the likes, the comments, the watch time, people that are sharing the live, people that have followed. It's all incredible, and I don't take any of it for granted. A couple months ago, we did start up a $2.99 per month subscription. Gets you exclusive access to our Right on Rangers Discord, so we can continue the conversation even after the show is over. If that's something you're interested in, something you'd like to be a part of, consider subscribing. Go ahead, and if you're on TikTok, you'll hit that subscribe button right next to the chat. Again, $2.99 a month. We'll get you into the Discord after the show. If you are on YouTube, we will go ahead and we will paste the link for you guys in the chat so you have it as well. Copy and paste into a browser of your choice. And same thing, we'll get you into the Discord almost immediately after the show is over. Thank you for considering. We're going to wrap things up here. Let me get to comments, make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Easton, jealous, man. You saw a good one today. Evan Carter, full-time. Josh, I kind of see more as a next year thing. Tucker, I'm with you. Hopefully they keep it up. That would be phenomenal. Hey, Rhino, thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate you. Dallas sports fan, 2 games back of the wild card. There we go. Brian Knight, man, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate your support. 44 if you're already gone. Or if you're still hanging out, man, have a good one. We'll see you later. Yeah, I think it is going to be pretty even tomorrow, Eric. That would be my guess. Pretty even tomorrow. We'll see. Fingers crossed for sure. Bochy says Higgy to the IL is not a lock. I still think we'll probably see Heim tomorrow, but hopefully Higgy's not going to be out too long. He was actually kind of finding his groove for the first time this season over the past few weeks. Seems like we always get better when we play small, swinging for the fences early in the season, put us in the hole. There's some truth to that, I think. There's some truth to that. Not overdoing it. Right? Not always relying on the big hit. I'm with you. Yeah, Eric, it could be end of the weekend. We are in a playoff spot, depending on how things go. I do think we make it to the wild card, FJ. Absolutely. Brewers have the bases loaded right now. Nice. Nice. Let's go. I like Jonah Heim a lot too, Francisco. I want to see him do well. If Higgy is going to miss a couple of games, it would be a good time for Jonah Heim's bat to get going. That is for sure. Yeah, Heim hasn't been doing great, Hardchuck. The bat has been cold. I would like to see him heat up a little bit, but there's no denying the numbers aren't pretty. Mace, I agree with you. I think he is getting on a little bit of a roll. I love Corey Seager too. Daily UFC, appreciate the comment. Love Corey Seager. I think he's going to be in the MVP race before the season is over, especially if he keeps up this kind of production. Rangers W and Astros are down. It is a good day. I totally agree with that. I think Zeke might be in the game tomorrow. I really do. I'm going backwards a little bit on the comments right now. Really nice to see the Mariners lose a few games, 100%. That would be highly ideal. Highly ideal. All right. Go Rangers, man. Mike, we'll see you later. And I'm going to take off as well. Go get a bite to eat. Start winding down for the evening. It's been a great day. Hopefully the Mariners can drop a game. Astros can drop a game, and it becomes an amazing day just like that. Appreciate all you guys hanging out again. Thank you for everybody that followed. Thank you for everybody that commented, shared the live, the watch time. I appreciate it all. There were a few people that gave gifts on the show today. Thank you so much for the generosity. I don't take any of it for granted. We'll be back tomorrow, 8th or 9th inning, hopefully talking about another Rangers win in series sweep. That would be huge. Tomorrow, what time is game time? We got a day game or what? No, we're playing another night game tomorrow, okay? Another night game. I thought maybe getaway day for the A's, maybe it would be day game, but no, we got another night game tomorrow, so here we go. All right. Thank you again. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.